Hey folks, my name is Nick Wolf. I'll be your professor for this quad. Welcome to BMG 3074, Human Resource Management. I'll be the one taking you through this class for the next 8 weeks. Um, and I'm really excited to be here, and I'm really excited you're taking part in this. I think it's a great class. It's great content. And again, I'll be your guide for this. This is an asynchronous class, which we'll talk about here in a second. However, I'm always here via Zoom for you all. And so if you have issues with the class, or if you want to talk about parts of the class or some of the requirements, you can always feel free to set an appointment with me. Also, with that said, if you are not aware, I'm not only your professor for human resource management, but I'm also the dedicated career coach for the Furmanian School of Business. So for those of you who want to speak to me about career stuff, about resume, about job search, about anything like that, you can connect with me on that. We can always set a meeting to discuss to discuss those topics if that's what you're interested in. But right now, let's get into what the class is all about. I don't want to take up too much of your time. So again, this is an online asynchronous class, so you're going to be doing a lot of the work on your own. I'm going to just jump right in, and we're going to go right to the syllabus. So if you click here on the left-hand side, you can open up the syllabus here, and I'll let you read through most of the syllabus yourself. But again, this is summer quad one. It's an 8 week class. It's 3 units. So just so you make sure you're in the right space. It's all online. I am available by phone though as well if you want to give me a call or text me. My number's right here, 949-294-1529. My email is nickwolf@pointloma.edu. You can reach me there, or you can reach me through Canvas. My hours are basically anytime you need me. If I'm not in a class in person, I'm usually here in my office or I'm at home, and I'm happy to speak with you or jump on a Zoom anytime with you. A little bit about me and my background. I've been with the university now for 13 years. I teach in all of our programs. I teach Introduction to Business. I teach HR Management. I teach Professional Communications in the MBA program. My background is in executive search for 20 years in HR. And so this class kind of is right up my alley. And so we're going to really quickly jump through the syllabus, and I want to show you what some of the assignments look like. So I'll let you read through all this. Here are all the learning outcomes. We'll talk a little bit about right now the required texts. So here are the required texts. This is Human Resource Management from McGraw-Hill. This is a required text. You'll need this. You can rent it. I would rent it, or I would get it on Amazon maybe. You can also get it through our bookstore. This is good. It's a good book. I would say it's kind of a keeper book, particularly if you're interested in going into human resource management. So this might be a book you want to keep, but this is required. And then the other book that I use is On Fire at Work by Eric Chester. This is a great book. You can again get this on Amazon. It's really inexpensive. So I'll be covering chapters in the textbook, and I'll be covering chapters in the On Fire book here, the Chester book. So we'll use both of these. Assessments and grading. Here are your assignments for the 8 weeks. We have a midterm exam, which is worth 125 points. It covers the first few chapters of the human resource management text. We have a final presentation that each of you will do individually based on a consulting project that you will do for a Fortune 500 company in their HR department. There's 3 reflection papers that you will do. Each week you'll have 2 discussion topics that you will online that you will work through. We also have project checkpoints for the main final presentation and final project. And so all those points equal 1,000 points. Here's how the grading scale is. And so all the way, I don't expect anybody to get less than a B plus in this class. So yeah, so as long as you stay engaged with me and as long as you do the work, everything should be just fine. I'll let you read through all of this stuff. What I want to get down to kind of immediately and this one is important, the academic resources. If you need help with your writing or any other academic resources, this is the place to go. I think this is great. They have a bunch of online workshops that you can do. You can do one-on-one coaching appointments. It's a great resource for the university. So, really, here's our 8 weeks, kind of in a nutshell. And so these are the topics. So this is week 1 through 8. Here are the topics we'll cover in each week. The first week is pretty simple. You just do one weekly discussion, and then you'll start to learn just a little bit about HR. But we really start jumping into it in week 2, where we'll cover 2 chapters basically per week. Sometimes it'll be 2 chapters from the HR text, this one. Sometimes it'll be a chapter from the HR text, and then a chapter as well from On Fire. Okay, and you can see here what readings are due. And then for the discussions, there's also some supplemental videos that you'll watch, and then a little bit of reading that you'll do, but that's all in the modules, which I'll show you. And so each week you'll have typically 2 discussion questions that you'll need to do. Sometimes during the week there'll be a checkpoint. Actually, most of the weeks there'll be a checkpoint. There could be, like in week 3 here, there's a reflection paper here. The midterm is in week 4, so you'll have a midterm here, and it's an online. I'll show it to you. It's online. It's multiple choice, true, false. It's not a big deal. And so it goes all the way down through to week 8, which is where you'll do the final presentation and a couple of discussions. So that's what the schedule looks like for the 8 weeks. So it's going to move quick. So I just always tell people you can't miss. It's about 120 hours of work outside of the class that you'll need to do for the class. So everything is doubled up. This is a 16-week class that I teach normally in person. That is compressed into 8 weeks. So I just want to make sure you understand this is going to go quick. Okay. Let's go ahead and let's jump into the modules. So I'll go here to the modules. And as you can see, each week we have something. So here we have a week 1 introduction discussion worth 25 points, where you will go on, you'll create an initial post, and you'll just say, tell me about yourself, tell me about who you are. And then I want you to also write about why human resources is important. And so there's no response to this one. This is just tell me about yourself, tell me about HR. What do you know about it? Why do you think it's important? As we go through, you'll see each week we've got 2 discussion posts that you'll do every week. Again, 2 discussion posts every week. Here's 1, here's 2. And then mixed in, you'll have these reflection papers. So I'll just show you the week 3 reflection paper on employee goals. What you're going to do is you're going to write a coherent college level paper on no more than 300 to 400 words. So this isn't some 5-page, it's just a quick 1 to maybe 1.5 page paper on this one. Is you're managing an employee who's not meeting goals. The employee is late and absent at times, contributing to poor performance. Draft a performance improvement plan, a PIP, and thoroughly address the following points. What are the 3 goals for your employee? Why is meeting these goals important to both employee and the organization? How will the PIP address the problem of not meeting the goals? So you're going to go through this as if you are writing this as either a manager or you're writing this as an HR manager, okay? One of the things I need you to understand is even if you're not planning on going into HR, it's really important that you understand from a management perspective, managers for the most part do all of the HR work. It's not the HR department. The 3 functions of HR, which we'll talk about in week 1, are hiring, retaining, and developing employees. That's it. Those are the 3 main things. We hire the best people, we train them well, and we keep them, right? Now, 99% of that is not done by the HR department. It's done by the manager managing those folks, right? Anytime somebody leaves a company, they leave because of a bad manager, right? And so again, the manager is responsible for hiring, retaining, and developing their employees. And so this is, yes, class is called human resource management. However, it really should just be called managing employees because that's what it's really about. Now, if you're thinking about going into HR, there's a lot of HR talk in this as well. And so but I don't want you to think that this is just about, oh, I'm not an HR professional. I'm not a human resource professional. This class applies to anybody who is responsible for employees. If you have employees in your charge, this is the class that's really going to benefit you. Okay. So this is what your weekly reflection is going to look like. I'm sorry, there's three of them, but this is what the reflections will look like. And so you're going to go in and you're going to do these. You're going to do these uh, discussion posts, the checkpoints, which I'll show you the final result of what your final paper is going to look like. But each week you're going to have typically one checkpoint and two discussion posts. And those discussion posts will look like this. You're gonna watch this video and you're gonna read chapter one of Fundamentals of Human Resource Management, and you're gonna put here create an initial post that address the following points. How would you define business culture? How would you define your employees' culture? How does culture become bad? What can you do to fix bad culture? You're gonna basically write 200 words, maybe, right? You're gonna have a thoughtful uh, post. I'm going to say 2 to 300 words. It says 300 to 400, but I'm going to say 2 to 300 words. Typically, I just want you to give me a post about these three prompts. And then after you post yours, you're going to go and you're going to respond to one of your classmates' posts. You can do this either one of two ways. You can either write it out or you can actually do a video. Do a little quick 90-second video. Hey, here's what I thought about it. If it's easier for you to do the video. If it's easier for you to do and here's also a way to instructions on how to record videos in Canvas. But if it's easier for you to just write it out, write it out. I want to give you as many options as possible. Okay. Um, and then the final project I'm going to go over really quick because actually most of the stuff that I'm covering now, I'm going to cover in our initial Zoom meeting, or it has been covered in our initial Zoom meeting. But here's the biggest project you're going to have for the entire class. This is your final consulting project. What you're going to do is you're going to take on the role of an individual consultant for a Fortune 500 company. Could be Nike, could be Exxon, could be Thermo Fisher, could be Qualcomm, could be Costco, could be Walmart, any one of these Fortune 500 companies. I'm going to assign each of you a company and you're going to take on the role of HR consultant. And each week, you're going to go through and you're going to hit a checkpoint. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to analyze the company's mission, vision, and values. You're going to link these to talent attraction. So how do they utilize their mission, vision, and values to attract employees, develop and retain their employees? You're going to research current HR initiatives within that organization. And then you're going to submit a slide deck, 3 to 4 slides, plus 1 page of an executive summary. Okay, double spaced 12-point font. Your next checkpoint is going to be about recruiting. How do they recruit their employees? The next one is going to be development. How do they development? What do they do to train and develop their employees? The last one, I'm sorry, the number 5 deliverable is going to be how do they compensate and benefit their employees? How do they keep their employees through compensation, through benefits, and through culture? And that's the last one. Deliverable 6, you're going to talk about the company. How do they basically develop a culture to keep their employees? So you're going to do all that research each week. You're going to you're going to upload into Canvas. Those are the deliverables that you're going to do. And at the end of the semester, you're going to put together a 10 to 15 slide, 10-minute, 15-minute max PowerPoint presentation on video. Uh, uh, you're going to basically uh, put a video together and present your findings from this assignment. So normally I would have people do this as a team. I don't find teamwork really works well on online. So you're going to do it as an individual and you're going to go through and you're going to basically tell me how they hire, develop, and retain their employees, what the culture's like and all that. and then you're going to put it together in a slide deck, and then you're going to present it via video. And along with that, you're going to have a one-page executive summary. So you're going to present a 10-minute max with 10 to 15 slides, 10 slides, probably the most. And then you're going to have a one-page executive summary. And then you're going to, you can use any platform that you want to present. You can use Canva, you can use Gamma, you can use PowerPoint. Any one of those is fine for your slides. But this is going to each week, this is going to be the culmination of all that you've learned. And you're going to put this together. You're going to come at this as a consultant. I've been consulting with Nike. Here's what I found. Here's what they do well in hiring people. Here's what they do poorly in hiring. Here's how they can improve. Here's what they do well in development programs. Here's how they can improve. Here's what they do poorly. And you're just going to go through and you're going to act as a consultant and you're going to put together this slide deck and this one page summary. You're going to upload it into Canvas, and then I'm going to watch it. And I'm going to grade you based on that. So here's the assignment. Here's all the things you need to know. Um, Other than that, there's a couple of the midterm again, multiple choice true false. It's not a big deal. What I really want you to think about though is I really want you to get as much out of this class as you can. This really is, yes, a human resource management class. What are the things we need to think about when we're hiring and developing and retaining our employees from an HR perspective? But I also want you to think about it. If I'm a manager of a marketing department or I'm a sales manager, I'm just as, if not more responsible for those actions than my HR department. And so I may not work in HR, but I still need to understand these things and be great at them, right? Even more so than my HR department. And so, again, I'm really excited to work with you all based on hopefully with this video and our Zoom call that we had on the first night. I'm hoping this will be a really effective class for you. If you always have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Remember, watch the video lectures. They're really short. Each week I'll have a video lecture in there. Watch the video lectures. Those will really help you. Read the chapters. Read this. This is a great book. This is a keeper book. Read these books. And then in the end, if you have questions anytime, all you have to do is reach out to me and I'm there for you. Okay. Look forward to guiding you through this class. And I hope that you have a great week. Thanks. Did I not record that?